والنجم إذا هوى ما ضل صاحبكم وما غوى.
Because someone chosen for this job, they could be trustworthy, they could be seasoned, but if they don't have the highest intellect, they cannot make the right decisions. Or they can be sincere, they're muta'in thumma ameen, they're trustworthy too, but that doesn't mean that they are the most intelligent. Many of you run businesses. You can have a trustworthy employee, but you know his intellectual capacity. You cannot give him more than that. Because if you want your business to fail, you'll give him more than that. He means well, but he can't handle that part. And sometimes you find people that are really, really smart, but you can't trust them. Right? Jibreel alayhi salam is meeting all of those requirements, and the ultimate requirement is his high level intelligence, because navigating from Allah all the way to the Messenger ﷺ is a pretty long journey. And we know that the shayateen want some access to this Quran. And that entire journey, he's going to employ his intellect. And he's going to deliver through his genius. He's going to deliver perfectly the message, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this, فَإِنَّ الْعَرَبْ تَقُولُ لِكُلِّ قَوِيِّ الْعَقْلِ وَالرَّأِي ذُو مِرَّةٍ. For anyone very strong in intellect, they're called ذُو مِرَّة. And by the way, what was the first word used for Jibreel? عَلَّمَهُ. He taught him. Teachers have to be highly intelligent. Allah didn't just say Jibreel alayhi salam delivered it. Here's the package. Delivery is not the same as what? Teaching. A teacher doesn't just deliver the textbook to you. He teaches the textbook to you. He explains the textbook to you. He makes sure you understand exactly what this is saying. It's as if Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is receiving the Quran and he is also being taught the Quran by Jibreel. Jibreel alayhi salam is his teacher. And of course, when you're going to describe a teacher, you would have to describe his intellect. And so, dhu mirratin. Notice the tanween in dhu mirratin. What do you learn about tanween today? Let's see your attention span. Sometimes what can the tanween do? Grandness, incredible intellect. The possessor of incredible intellect is embedded inside the meaning. لِأَنَّهَا فِي الْأَصْلِ. Last thing I'll do is I'll read a Lucy to you on this. فَإِنَّ الْعَرَبْ تَقُولُ لِكُلِّ قَوِيِّ الْعَقْلِ وَالرَّأِي ذُو مِرَّةٍ. The Arabs say for everyone who's strong in intellect and has great sound opinions that they're ذُو مِرَّة. مِنْ أَمْرَرْتُ الْحَبْلِ or أُمْرِرَتْ الْحَبْلِ إِذَا أُحْكِمَتْ فَتْلُهُ. This came from the rope being perfectly tied and twisted until it's super perfect. And they associated that with someone whose mind is solid and doesn't waver. So they made an association of the physical with this abstract idea. لأنها في الأصل تدل على المرة بعد المرة تدل على زيادة القوة فلا تغفل. Because the rope is used over and over and over again, which demonstrates its durability and its strength. Jibreel is given tasks over and over and over again. It indicates his strength. Because strength is also about stamina, isn't it? So some of you guys that watch like UFC and things like that, you can have a very strong fighter, but at the end of the day, sometimes they'll lose the fight because what goes away? Stamina, right? They didn't last the rounds. They ran out of steam. So strength is not just about power, it's also about duration. So mirra covers the duration and continuity of strength also. A journey is usually exhausting, right? And the brain can check out eventually. You know how I study for this stuff? I study for an hour, then I take a mental break and kill some ninjas on a video game, and then come back and study again, and then I do something stupid again, and then I come back and study. I don't have the continuity. I can't. I have attention span issues, right? So I'm okay with taking breaks and going. Jibreel alayhi salam is being described as what? Continuously at 100% charge, without break. On this though, you guys are running out of charge, so I'm going to give you your first break. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bayyina TV doesn't just teach you about the Quran. You can also learn Arabic from a brilliant teacher. Ustad Nouman Ali Khan has made this beautiful ancient language easy to understand. So you're not only improving your language skills, but your understanding of the Quran too. Tap now to check out Bayyina TV.
We left off at Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Dhu mirratin fastawa. Fastawa means he became upright. He became even. But istiwa means for something to be, even to stand up can be istiwa. Like fastawa ala suqihi in the Quran, when the stalk stands up. when he stands tall. فاستوى أي فاستقام على صورته الحقيقية التي خلقه الله تعالى عليها. Fastawa here means Jibreel stood up and took his original form, the way Allah actually created him. Because when Jibreel came to the Prophet ﷺ in the angel, in the cave, he wasn't in his true form because he had to be able to fit inside the cave. But now Allah is describing an incident where Jibreel took his actual full form, in complete full form. Then وَذَلِكَ عِنْدَ حِرَاء فِي مَبَادِئِ النُّبُوَّةِ وَكَانَ لَهُ عَلَيْهِ الصَّلَاةُ وَالسَّلَامُ. This was in the early stages of prophethood. There's a disagreement about when this happened. I'm more inclined to think this is the second meeting after the Iqra' bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. This is the second meeting. There was a gap in revelation, and then Rasulullah saw him again. And when he saw him again, he had taken over the entire sky. That's when he went and he said, "Cover me," and all of that happened. So there are some discrepancies in the narrations, but it seems to me that this is when the full viewing happened, not the original meeting where the Iqra' bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, because that was not fastawa, and he wasn't on the horizon then. Okay. Anyway, كما في حديث أخرجه الإمام أحمد وعبد بن حميد وجماعة عبد بن مسعود 600 جناح كل جناح منها يصد الأفق. So he says when he took his true form, those were some names of the narrators, it was 600 wings, and each one of them was covering horizon after horizon. فالاستواء ها هنا بمعنى اعتدال الشيء في ذاته كما قال الراغب. So this means that he took his place. In one narration, it even describes he sat on a chair above the horizon, and his wings just spanned over the entire. You couldn't see the sky anymore. All you could see was Jibreel. Like the entire sky, the entire horizon was just taken over by Jibreel alayhi salam. Okay. So وهو المراد بالاستقامة لا ضد الاعوجاج. So istiwa here means standing upright. الثمر إذا نظر. That's actually linguistic commentary. So now, let me see if I want to read the rest of this to you or just explain it to you. Yeah, okay. I'll explain it to you. Allah will now describe how the Prophet experienced seeing Jibreel alayhi salam. And he already described this, the might of him, the traveling ability of him, now the meeting itself, the viewing itself of this mighty angel. And when he took his form, وَهُوَ بِالْأُفُقِ الْأَعْلَى, he was on the highest horizon. Al-Ufuq al-A'la would mean right above the head. Some say this could mean on the right side, but actually the Ufuq al-Mubin, the clearest sky is the one right above your head. The east and the west, the north and the south, there's some discrepancy in your view. Buildings are in the way, or the trees are in the way, mountains are in the way. But the sky that is uninterrupted is one that's right above you. Al-Ufuq al-A'la. So Jibreel is being described as right above. We can't even imagine this, but Rasulullah is looking up and he's just seeing the horizon taken over by this magnificent being. And he recognizes him. So وَهُوَ بِالْأُفُقِ الْأَعْلَى ثُمَّ دَنَا. Then he started coming down. Now can you imagine the level of intimidation? Then the Jibreel alayhi salam starts descending. Then he says, فَتَدَلَّى. Tadalla actually means then he started hovering low. Tadalla comes from the Arabic word dalwun. This is one of those words that I will remind you of tomorrow. You're going to need it tomorrow. He descended, then he was hanging like a bucket. Dalwu actually means a well bucket. The one that has a rope on it. By the way, interesting. The rope is coming back again. You see that? So anyway, he was hanging like a rope. Now, the thing with the bucket is something is holding it from above, right? The imagery almost describes Jibreel alayhi salam is hovering and Allah is holding him up. Like Allah describes about anything that flies, that Allah is the one, ma yumsikuhunna illa ar-Rahman, right? Birds are not being held in the sky except by ar-Rahman. Jibreel alayhi salam imsak of him is being done in the sky. He's dangling in the sky, being held by Ar-Rahman. Beautiful language. Then Amin Ahsan Islahi, talking about this in his Urdu Tafseer, Tadabbur al-Quran, said something beautiful. It's as if when a teacher lovingly leans over the student to see his work or to teach him. or to whisper something to him, or to tell him something that he doesn't want anybody else to hear. Tadalla, he hovered over. So this closeness to the Prophet ﷺ is being described in these words.